Hey guys, this is Ryan from Deckmates Gaming. I've just been playing around with this Hoenna and Sola Golem type deck, so just want to show you the deck profile and talk about it a bit. So let's get into it. Of course, run Hoenna and Sola here. Talk a bit about him later as it goes on. So for the white cards, we run 3 Holy Slash. It's pretty good as just in case they get a little ahead on towers on you and you need just to remove something big maybe, because this deck isn't super great at removing like huge things except for like target attacks and such, so it's just good to have those handy. Speaking of target attack, we have 3 standard Shard Sword. I like to run it just because in case if it's early game and you're not really wanting to test towers at them or just attacking them blindly, you can just take out some of their units. The 500 helps a lot, and then with Sola you can stand back up as well. And then having 1 mana, generally earlier on you might have like 1 mana left over, and having this is just a nice little bonus you can do to make your early game stronger. And then I run 2 Quorum Phalanx. This is kind of like a backup plan if your golems aren't working out, which, I mean, it isn't super consistent, the golem package, so I just like to have them earlier. And it also is really good with Sola. It just helps you survive, or like get a head start on board earlier on. So for black, for 1s, I run 3 Failed Golem number 1. It's pretty much what you wanna. It's like the only thing you can do turn 1 basically. So you wanna play it, but if you can't, it's not really a big deal. Its ruined effect. It's not super great in this. It's not like super usable in this deck as it is, but it definitely can be used. Especially later on if it dies and you have like a Yami and you need some, or if you want to pull out something specific with that you don't have already, it's definitely can come in handy. Yeah, basically just for the Golem synergy. So yeah, for 2s we have 2 Golem of Jealousy. So if you play Failed Golem number 1 first turn, you definitely want to play this second turn. That's probably your strongest opening with this deck. I run 2, just it's not super necessary. The 1000's alright, and then the draw is again alright. It's just basically for the golems when you need them. Most of the time you're not going to get that grade 1 though, so your grade 2, or your level 2, or turn 2 is going to be Golem of Devourment. He is Guardian, and he cannot deal damage, so he's basically just kind of like a shield that you use to soak up damage early. And then his 3rd skill is he's Ruined. You can call a copy of him from the deck, so he basically just sticks around a lot. If they attack and you defend, you can call another one, which is good if you need golems on the field early, because it's tougher to do that earlier than later. So if he sticks around more, it's better, because then you can get some of your golem synergies off. That's around 3 Hidden Laboratory. It's an augment. Arrive, you put 3 counters on Hoenna, which is pretty good. Just to boost it up a bit, because it does kind of take a while to get going, and you usually don't use Hoenna counters until later, but it's nice just to have that flexibility early on. And then a second skill is Exhaust. You can sacrifice a golem to draw a card. This really keeps the deck going, I think. Whenever they try and remove one of your golems, you can just kill it and draw. Since this is like the main draw power of the deck, this and then that grade 2 Golem of Jealousy. But then this is just so much better in my opinion also, because you're turning when they try to kill your things, you're just turning it into advantage for you. So it definitely keeps your game going. Next we have 3 Omega Magic Yami. It is a instacast, and you can choose one of the following 2 or 2. if you have 3 or more towers destroyed. The first one is deal 1,000 damage to a unit, or it gets 1,000 minus 1,000 power, I should say. Yeah, there's a difference. And then the second one is that you can target a 3 cost or less from your discard and you summon it. So this card is very good. It's the value you get from it is really strong. I'll explain a little bit more later on. I mean, basically, most of the cards in this deck are 3 cost or less, most of the units. And so basically you just have a lot of utility and you get to choose what you want for the given situation. So this is definitely a very powerful card that helps you get to the end game. And next we're on 3 Dust Strike. Just later on, instacast, pay 2 to get something minus 2,500 is 25 is a pretty big number. So yeah, it's just good for removing a lot of different things. It's a pretty versatile card. So for the 3s, I run 2 Golem of Avarice. Its Arrive is if you have another Golem, you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Having it be a random card is pretty strong because people, you can just luck out and get one of their important combo pieces, and then they're kind of stuck. So this card is definitely good. Another just with Golems in general is that they all have like that Arrive ability. And a lot of control decks right now have like bounce effect. A lot of decks in general right now can bounce your cards to your hand. So being able to just keep playing these and getting these Arrival effects are really good. So yeah. Next I run 2 Brain White Beam. It's a 3 cost spell. Target unit gets, or if the target unit's power is 2,000 or less, then you can exhaust it and gain control of it. And then if its power is more than 2,000, you just give it minus 2,000. It's a good turn 3 play if they have something you just want to take. Usually, yeah, taking 2,000 powers are pretty good because you're turning their advantage into yours. So it can get dead in your hand sometimes, being a spell, but I still think it's good enough to run as a 2 for those cases where it's really powerful. So next I run 3 Hellish Guardhound, a 2,000 power. It has a Guardian and doesn't arrive. Target unit cannot attack next turn. So this is really good against aggressive decks, like red, for example. Slowing them down by making something not attack is really strong early. And then also having the Guardian. So this is just a really defensive card. It just does a lot. It has a lot of impact on the game. Like the only thing is that it doesn't really have a lot of synergy with the other cards right now, but I still definitely think I have space to run it. Next I have Golem of Allurement, 3 cost 1,500. It's probably my favorite card in the deck. Its Arrive is you take control of target unit with cost 1 or less. It's just, and then it cannot attack this turn. But that's just really, you can get a lot of value off of that because basically every deck runs like the white tower. So every deck will eventually, if you kill the tower, which you probably should hope to, you'll get a 2,000 cost Guardian, and then you just play this and take it, which, because tokens are 0 cost, and yeah, there's just a lot of synergy. Like, you don't need a Golem for this one, which is kind of surprising. One synergy I really like is with Yami. You can kill one of their 1,000 little tiny dudes, and then call this from the drop, and then take one of the guys, that makes this play really huge. I've also even just used, you can just play him, and then tap Hidden Laboratory to kill him, and draw one, and then play this, and then you get, if you need to do it twice in a row, twice in a turn for some reason. So basically just taking their guys is really good. especially tokens with Defender, and you can just keep playing them out again and again with Yami, so it's definitely is my favorite card in the deck. It wins most of my games. Then I run 1 Soul Transfer. It's a spell. You destroy a target unit, and then you search your drop for a cost under the cost of the unit that was destroyed, and you play it. I used to run 2, but it kind of clogged sometimes, especially when they have like green or some kind of response. It's kind of tough to play this, because if you play it for 4 and then they are able to counter it or disrupt you casting this, then that's a pretty bad turn if you're just wasting 4 mana on a card. But there are definitely other times where if they just have like a big guy, or even just a medium guy, and then you also get to call something, and you get that arrive off, so I play it as 1 right now. That's pretty good for me. And then I run 2 Golem of Indulgence. It's a target attack. It cannot attack air, it can only attack units. And its arrive is you can discard 1, and it gets 1000 power and quickness, so it'd be 35. And 35 quickness target attack can kill pretty much any unit in the game. The vast majority of them. So I run these 2 just to help with disrupting their field, and the quickness really helps. Most of the 4 costs that I've tested out before this just didn't have enough impact like immediately when I played them, but this one definitely does, so I like this card a lot. I used to have him on 1, but recently updated him to 2, so let's see. Then I got 2 Golem of Vengeance. It's a destroyer, and then its arrive is you get to look at your opponent's hand and then choose a card from it and discard it. And then if you have 2 golems on the field, when you play him, you get to choose 2 cards to discard them. So this guy's just he's a very powerful turn when you play him, because you get to look at their hand and know what they have, and then you get to discard 2 pieces from their hand, which they'll probably, it's pretty guaranteed that you'll find 2 good cards that they've been saving for a while. Having it as destroyer is also really nice, and 4000 is just really beefy. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna kill it by attacking it or like doing damage spells on it. It's just not really ideal for them. And then it also synergizes really well with Hoenna, where if you have 6 or more counters on her at the end of your opponent's turn, you can just pay them and then get those 2 counters, even if they wipe your board, and then you can still play this guy and get that effect off because her 2 tokens are golems. So yeah, basically, this guy's finished a couple games. I have him at 2 right now. 3 might be a little too much because you kind of cycle a bit, and you can cycle more if you want. It kind of depends how you want to play it. So 2's been good for me. So yeah, basically you just want to keep board control and then make sure that you're taking their value and turning it into yours, and then attacking their towers when you feel safe enough. And then hopefully you can win with some crazy Allurement plays or Vengeance plays. So that's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any suggestions? We definitely have other cards that we've been testing in and out of the deck, so it's not really set right now, but I felt like this was set enough where I can make a video and just see what you guys have to think. So yeah, let us know. It's been Ryan from TechMates Gaming. Have a good one.